So the review was the result of the second international conference in Berlin. And really it was felt that the movements, with all the new relief societies that were being created, needed a way to share information about what they were working on, about topics of interest to them, about developments in the law as it related to the wounded in armed conflict. And so in October 1869, the very first edition of the review was published. At that time, its name was the Bulletin International pour les Sociétés de Secours aux Militaires Blessés. And eventually it evolved over time to become the International Review of the Red Cross that we know today. So today, the International Review of the Red Cross is a prestigious peer-reviewed academic journal, and we're produced by the ICRC and published by Cambridge University Press. You can look to the history of the journal to really trace how some of the major world events come through in what was published at the time. So if you look back to the First World War, for example, it's still a time when the journal was publishing very much the activities of national societies, of the ICRC in the field. And you can see even the reports of delegates who did detention visits and really delve into what the work was at the time. Then if you looked to more recent times, for example, the terrorist attacks on September 11th, there was in 2002 an edition on terrorism that followed soon after. So you see a shift from kind of the description of activities of humanitarian organizations in the field to more academic thought about what is the response to terrorism, what are states' obligations in counterterrorism activities. And you can see today, even in editions that are devoted to particular contexts, the discussion is much more academic than a detailed account of what the ICRC's activities are in the field. For a great example, you can see the recent edition on the conflict in Syria. So today, the International Review of the Red Cross is a prestigious peer-reviewed academic journal. We are ranked as a law journal in international rankings, and we're produced by the ICRC and published by Cambridge University Press. We've got about 9,000 paid subscriptions, and then we also distribute the review for free online and in hard copy through the ICRC. We're currently available regularly in 6 languages. English, Arabic, Chinese, French, Spanish, and Russian, and then also several other languages on an ad hoc basis. For example, many of our editions have been translated into Farsi, and several articles have been translated into Georgian. So we frequently receive contributions from Arabic-speaking scholars, and we do accept submissions in Arabic, which not many people are aware of, I think. And we have editions that cover context in the Arabic-speaking world. For example, we have 2 editions on Iraq. We have a very recent edition on the conflict in Syria, where we hosted articles by Syrian authors as a priority to give them a voice. And we frequently publish articles on the relationship between IHL and Islamic law. Overall, we'd love to have more Arabic-speaking scholars published in the reviews. So I'm frequently asked why we still exist in print when electronic versions of all of our articles are so available, and they're freely available online. Every 4 years we do a survey of our readership, and we're always surprised to discover how many of our readers still read us primarily in print. About 50% of respondents say that they read the review either only in print or at least half of the time in print. And I think that there's still something about having the hard copy in your hands that people enjoy, especially when reading such heavy academic articles. So this year, to commemorate our anniversary, we revamped our website and relaunched it, making all of the editions of the review since 1869 freely available and searchable. So what we really hope will happen now is that researchers will take the time to go to the website and use the editions to search in them about topics related to humanitarian action and humanitarian law, and see through the wealth of the over 110,000 pages that we've published in the last 150 years, all of the things that are available, because it's a really rich resource. You can see developments in medical technologies, developments in international law, developments in humanitarian thoughts, and some debates that we think are new.